My name's Luke Bennett. I'm 28, from Asheville, North Carolina. A town that wears its seasons like moods, and mine have been mostly autumn. Quiet, tired, waiting. This is the story I've never told anyone. Call it, I joked, if you were my age, I'd take you on a road trip. She laughed. What are we waiting for? It started in the office like most bad ideas or beautiful disasters do. I worked in a mid-sized design firm tucked in downtown Asheville, full of modern furniture, recycled wood paneling, and the kind of curated succulents that die within weeks. I was senior project lead, wrangling chaos, clients, and caffeine every day. Then she walked in. Her name was Emily Carter. She was 42, confident, effortless, eyes like the Atlantic during a storm, beautiful, wild, impossible to read. She wasn't my boss. Technically, she was a consultant brought in for a 6-month rebranding campaign. But the way people stopped when she spoke, leaned forward when she walked by, I knew power when I saw it. And me? I was smitten like a teenager, hiding behind Adobe Illustrator and sarcasm. Our first real conversation happened late on a Thursday. The office was emptying, that lull before the weekend. I was tweaking a logo she had half-sketched on a napkin. Something sleek, retro, and somehow unapologetically feminine. She leaned over my desk, studying the screen, a strand of hair falling dangerously close to my shoulder. You're good, she said, but you overthink, and you underexplain. I shot back. She laughed, low and warm, like she wasn't used to being challenged. I liked that. I liked her. Weeks passed like scenes from a slow-burn indie film, long glances during meetings, inside jokes over coffee, and silent moments that said everything. One day, in the middle of a brainstorming session, she mentioned she hadn't traveled in years. Said she always wanted to just get in a car and drive, windows down, music up, no destination. I don't know what came over me. I joked, if you were my age, I'd take you on a road trip. She paused, looked at me with a sparkle that wasn't professional, wasn't friendly. It was something else entirely. What are we waiting for? She said. It should have stopped there. Just a playful comment. But something in the air shifted, like we'd both said something real and raw without meaning to. The next weekend, I got a text. Just a map pin, somewhere near the Blue Ridge Parkway. No words. And I went. It was supposed to be just a drive. Just a few hours. But miles became hours. Hours became days. We didn't check emails. We didn't talk about work. We just existed. I learned she loved Fleetwood Mac and hated strawberries. That she used to dance ballet until a knee injury, and that she once almost married someone she didn't love because he checked the right boxes. I told her about my dad walking out when I was 10, about how I still avoided his side of town even now, about the girl in college who cheated on me with my roommate, and how I never really trusted anyone after that. Somewhere near Nashville, it started to rain. She was asleep in the passenger seat, hair tangled, mouth slightly open. I looked at her and felt something that terrified me. I didn't want to take her back. That night, in a cheap motel with floral sheets and flickering lights, we kissed. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't wrong. It was inevitable. She touched my face like I was something delicate, like she hadn't touched someone in years and didn't want to break me. I shouldn't feel this way, she whispered. You're young. You have time. I don't care, I said, and I meant it. But time cared. Back in Asheville, things got complicated. Office whispers started. Her contract was extended. HR called me in, just to check in. We denied everything, but something in her changed. She began pulling back, putting space between us like a safety net, like she was trying to rewind what couldn't be undone. I confronted her after a meeting. The others had left, the projector humming a blank white light across the room. You can't just act like it didn't happen, I said. She looked tired, sad, resigned. Luke, I'm not afraid of what people think. I'm afraid of what you'll regret. I won't, I said, but I was already starting to doubt myself. Or maybe doubt her. Then came the twist. One night I went to her place. I needed clarity, closure, anything. Her ex-husband was there. Not inside, outside. arguing with her in the driveway. Loud. Ugly. I didn't know the details, but I didn't have to. He was saying things about her. About me. I stepped in. Big mistake. He shoved me. Called me a kid. Said I was a phase. A way to feel young again. And she didn't say anything. Just stood there, eyes down. I left. Drove for hours. No music. No GPS. Just the sound of my breathing and the rain on the windshield. A week passed. Then two. I avoided her. Buried myself in work. Took on extra clients. Smiled when I didn't feel like it. But inside, I was unraveling. Then came the email. From her. One line. I had to let you go before you hated me for staying. No goodbye. No explanation. Just silence. And that silence screamed louder than any argument we could have had. 3 years passed. That's how long it took for the ache to fade from something sharp to something dull, like a song you've played too many times to still cry to, but you never skip it. I moved to Charlotte. New job, new apartment, new gym, new friends I didn't let too close. I dated. Kind women. Smart women. Safe women. But none of them laughed the way she did. None of them made silence feel like music. Emily Carter had become a chapter one never revisited out loud. I'd buried her in that unspoken space between memory and myth, until fate or something cruelly like it dug her up again. It was a client conference in Atlanta. I was presenting a pitch. Nerves were high. The boardroom lights were bright, sterile. And then I saw her, sitting in the back, arms folded, hair shorter, eyes exactly the same. My voice caught for a second. No one noticed, but I did. After the meeting, I found her standing alone near the coffee table, sipping tea. She didn't look surprised to see me, just peaceful. "Luke," she said, like she was saying my name for the first time and the 100th all at once. I didn't know what to say. 3 years of silence pressed against my chest. "You look different," I finally managed. "So do you," she smiled. Less angry. I blinked. "You were watching me?" She nodded. "Sometimes. Online. Quietly." That night, we sat in the hotel bar. We talked like we were strangers, catching up on old stories we'd both lived but experienced differently. She was living in Charleston now, doing freelance. Painting again, she said. Therapy, mostly. She told me about her mother dying a year ago, how she'd flown across the country just to hold her hand for 20 minutes before the machines took over. I told her about my father's stroke, about the silence between us finally breaking. Too little, too late. It was real talk, raw. No flirting, no pretense. Then she said something I didn't expect. I think I was scared of how much I wanted it to be real. "With you." I looked at her, older now, maybe, but even more beautiful because there was no mask left. "You could have said that then." I didn't know how, and I didn't believe I deserved to be loved by someone who still believed in love. I swallowed hard. There's a moment in every man's life where he realizes heartbreak isn't always about betrayal. It's sometimes about timing. And timing? That cruel bastard has a habit of getting it wrong just when you feel you've got everything right. I walked her to her room, not to stay, just to be near her. Before she closed the door, she said, "Do you still think about the road trip?" I nodded. "Every time I see the Blue Ridge Mountains." She stepped forward, touching my face again, just like that motel night. "You once said if I were your age, you'd take me on one." I laughed. "Yeah, you told me. What are we waiting for?" She smiled, that slow, knowing smile that unraveled me then, and still did now. "What are we waiting for, Luke?" We didn't sleep together that night, but we stayed up, talking, crying a little, laughing a lot. She fell asleep on my chest, and for the first time in years, I felt like I wasn't running anymore. Weeks later, I got a letter in the mail, from her, handwritten. It said, "I can't promise a perfect road ahead, but if you're still willing, I'd like to ride shotgun this time. No exits, no detours, just forward." I kept that letter folded in my wallet for months, until I didn't need it anymore, because she was beside me. We did take that road trip. Started in Asheville, ended in Santa Fe, Stopped everywhere that mattered and nowhere in particular. I proposed in a diner outside Flagstaff. She said yes. We didn't have a wedding with flowers or a guest list. Just a ceremony under a sky full of stars, and two people who finally stopped waiting for life to be perfect to start living it. Reflection. Love doesn't always arrive in the package you expected. Sometimes it's older, wiser, messier. Sometimes it leaves. But when it returns, if it returns, you'll know, because it won't knock. It'll use the spare key it quietly hid in your soul years ago. And if you're lucky, really lucky, you'll answer the door without asking why it left. You'll just be glad it came back. Luke.